Hello.
Hello, good morning. Well, nearly midday, but good
afternoon. Yeah, day 3 of our Freshers coverage. We are sorry that we are an hour late. We had a lot of technical issues that are
but it's okay now. We're up and running and we're ready to go.
Yeah, so basically, we already went through this, but nobody could see us, so...
So we're going to pretend like we're an hour behind and we're all going to just do it again. So what we're going to go talk about today is we're going to be talking about the Freshers warm-up that took place on Thursday. We're going to be then talking about what you've got to prepare for next week. So as well as your night events, you've also got loads of daytime stuff to go to. That's really important for you guys to know, especially if you want to get involved, especially and just need to get into uni life. So we're going to be talking about that.
Yeah, so next week is your big Freshers
like
week.
Official
We've had
Freshers
a little
week.
Bit of pre-Freshers now,
pre-Freshers,
a
little warm-up,
yeah.
Now for the main event.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what you've got to look forward to on this show. We're also going to play a cheeky game of Heads Up in a bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then we'll give you some other bits and pieces. So we're going to be talking about the general election that's upcoming very soon. It's quite important within the SU.
That already happened.
Huh?
Not SU general election, as in the general election.
Yeah.
So, as in, we'll talk about what happened at the general election.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so from what student opinions were and people in the local area. We'll also talk about volunteering fair, all the fairs next week. A bit more on Warmby Street. You'll just see it. We played the clip a couple of days ago, so we talked about the campaign to keep Warmby Street open. And this time we'll be playing a clip of Moon Club, so you can get a taster of all the different clubs on Warmby Street. And Rachel will be releasing, who's the head of music for CUTV, she'll be releasing that project later in this term. So, basically, at your warm-up party, we asked you, would you rather WKD versus VK? And we had some, disappointing answers from Freshers, I must say.
As a second and a third year, I think we would say it's disappointing, but as a Freshers, you probably wouldn't think it's weird. Because most of you actually ended up voting for a WKD over a VK. Now, just a little word of warning, VKs are a very big thing here. So I think you need to very quickly jump onto the culture because they do taste good. And
yeah, the blue one is my favourite.
I personally like the orange one. What's that? Orange and passion fruit. It's like a J2O basically.
But yeah, so we have our own Cardiff Uni branded VK as well. So you can see there's a massive hype.
Yeah. I think we're one of probably the biggest providers of VKs in the UK. I remember last year there was a competition to win, and I had friends from other unis trying to apply into the competition to win a year's supply of VKs.
So Cardiff is the place for VK, and you just WKD. Don't even mention that after this.
Don't.
So it's just gone.
You'll never touch that stuff again. It's all about the VKs.
Yeah, so if you have any funny stories that happened during your Freshers warm-up party or that happened last night, so we'll be showing footage from last night's VK-UV party tomorrow, but if you have any funny stories from those nights
anything
out,
really
or the nights
embarrassing,
then tweet us at Cardiff
funny.
Union TV and let us know, and we might just tell you a little story on air. But obviously,
we can keep it anonymous.
Yeah.
Can't say that word. Anonymous. Anonymous. There we go.
Bit of a tongue twister.
It is.
Yeah, and so we might have a laugh hopefully.
Yeah.
If you get on that, yeah, we really need a laugh this morning.
Yeah.
So shall we go to Freshers warm up video and have a little look?
Let's take a look at the clip.
So have you guys settled in nicely?
Yeah. What? Sorry? You settled in nicely? Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So what degrees are you guys doing?
Architecture, journalism,
Financial maths, mechanical engineering.
Nice, good mix then. Hi ladies, are you guys all freshers?
yeah,
Sweet, what degrees do you guys do?
pardon?
What degrees do you guys do?
Medicine, archaeology and Italian.
Medicine. Good stuff.
The year Erasmus students from Spain, and we're from Italy. Yeah.
That is so cool. Literally, that's awesome.
Because it's comfortable and I like
correct answer. I totally agree with you on that. Okay, so would you guys rather wear pajamas or wear like a fancy dress, like a ball dress, every single day for a month? Pajamas! I love pajamas. Yeah. And you can make them a bit dressy. Yeah. You like one of those snuggies or like onesies. Yeah. I'm a pig onesie. A pig onesie. Yeah, that's the best. Pajamas. True words have never been said.
Pajamas.
Even to like a wedding.
Pajamas.
Tuxedos are everything.
Yeah. Wedding tux every day. Every day.
Maybe it could be like a summer party / wedding.
Summer party. Not a wedding, summer party pajamas.
Pajamas to everything. They're welcome.
Not to a fucking.
You get really like cool looking pajamas.
Also, would you rather have John Cena as your substitute teacher or Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Very good question and very good answer. And would you rather have John Cena as a substitute teacher or have Dwayne The Rock Johnson as a substitute teacher?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock. 100% The Rock.
I definitely have to agree with that.
Yeah.
So the big question is, would you rather have John Cena as substitute teacher or Dwayne The Rock Johnson as substitute teacher?
John Cena.
Same.
I didn't hear the question. It's far too loud.
It is. Just say same.
John Cena. I think. Is that an answer?
Oh, a new answer. A third eye or a third arm? Eye.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Good stuff.
Got our own situations. Some need more eyes and arms. Some need more arms and eyes. But there we go.
True words have never been said. Thank you. I'm doing Would You Rather question with myself. Yeah. I'm very, very lonely. So, would you rather BK or WKD?
The second one, yes. Are you sure? Yes! Yes. Okay. So, next question, please. WKD. A what?
Would you rather be a VK or a WKD?
WKD.
Sorry. As well. Yeah, that'd be cute. Like pennies. Yeah. And last but not least, would you rather VK or WKD? WKD. WKD. Yeah. I don't know. WKD. Good stuff. Well, thank you very, very much, ladies, and I hope you have fantastic freshers. Thank you. Bye-bye. And also, would you guys rather be a VK or be a WKD?
VK. Someone like VK. That one.
VK.
Yeah.
VK.
Yeah, VK. Yeah.
There's would you rather VK or WKD?
Oh, VK.
There we go.
Well, that was a no-brainer.
Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
That's quite a shit one.
Full-size duck for sure.
Full-sized duck, yeah.
What I mean, like, what's the difference?
Really, just imagine like, Godzilla duck.
Flamingo.
Duck-sized
Just a
horses.
flamingo.
That's it.
Flamingo.
100 duck-sized horses would be really cute.
Who wouldn't?
Imagine those tiny horses. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just kick him away and shit.
The ducks? Yes. Because I love ducks. I don't know. Your questions are too difficult for this moment. She prefers ducks, and I agree with her.
Yeah, so thank you very, very much, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of Freshers. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, so that was your freshers warm-up party.
Still hard to sort of hear all the people saying
we kept
WKD.
listening
Like,
back
no,
and,
you sure?
Yeah, we loved how our presenters were like, "Are you
No,
sure that's
don't.
what you prefer? Like, really?"
Oh, that's what I know.
Yeah. So,
You'll soon learn.
we're going to be moving away from partying a little bit and
Get a
onto
bit political.
election topics. Yeah. So, we have a vox pop of people around the Cathays area who were voting in the general election earlier this year.
Yeah,
But
had a bit of a mix-up earlier saying, but we're basically going to talk all things elections. So we're talking about national election, and we're going to be talking about the SU election that's up and coming.
So we've got one that comes up that has a candidate meeting on 24th of October.
Yeah.
And the nominations for that will be opening.
I think the next few
within the
weeks.
yeah. So if
We'll get on to that at
you
some
want
point,
to,
but yeah. But
so general election wise.
general election wise, we know it was a few weeks ago, a few months ago.
Yeah.
So general election.
So yeah, basically we went round trying to get opinions of different students as well as people in Cathays area to see what they thought about the election. So that's the kind of coverage that you can do on TV or on radio under a little politics news section, however you like. So Amelia is running our news section. So if you wanted to get a bit political, you could do that later in this year. Obviously there's hopefully not going to be another general election.
Oh, please no. Can't go through that again.
Yeah, but yeah, so shall we have a little look at
let's
the
take a
opinions
look
of the people
at the clip
earlier this year?
From CUTV. So, have you just voted?
Yeah, I actually just did a proxy vote for two people that, one of them's a business partner of mine, and they wanted to make sure they voted in the election.
Good stuff. So, so are there like any? Oh, what's the word? Any? God, I'm terrible at this.
Not edit it, it's fine.
So, are there any? What's the
Policies?
word? Policies, yeah. So, are there any policies that you're like more in favour of?
Well, I suppose it is a complicated one for me there because I just did a proxy vote for people, but I suppose the process that we just went through to decide who they wanted to vote for was, we discussed the policies that they were in favour of. They actually both currently live in India, and so we discussed some of the policies, some of the things that have been going on in the UK, and ultimately sort of came to, I suppose, a decision. They came to the decision, asked me to vote for them. So policies mainly those surrounded around things like Brexit, and immigration. Both of them being immigrants that came to the country originally and became British citizens. So that's obviously a big thing for them. But then just generally, the way in which
Live, and can you? Hello, and sorry about that issue again. That VT is just giving us all the issues.
It's so broken.
But we have come back with I didn't know what you were called then. I was like,
you just
who are you?
forgotten my name.
Have you just forgotten my
I might
name,
spend every day
Elizabeth?
with you, but I forgot who you were.
Look, Laura, like I can't believe after all this time you've forgotten my name. It's
So
shocking.
this is Charlie Knight, if you didn't know that already. But he is your Students with Disabilities Officer. We also have a student mental health officer, which is George Watkins, also a big part of media. So hopefully we'll interview him later this week. So we will move on to a discussion about the student election that's coming up, and Charlie will tell us about the sort of smaller officer positions.
Smaller officer
well, I
positions?
mean, you're underneath the VPs.
Well,
so
okay, so we try not to use that sort of terminology.
Just to
actually,
beat you down.
We are part-time officers, but we campaign officers is the term we're meant to use. But we do different roles really to the vice presidents. So we do support them, but they also support us. And for example, I chair a couple of groups that the vice presidents and like the SU presidents sit on. So it's all a bit confusing how it works. But here at Cardiff University, you're meant to have 10 part-time officers, but we only have 4 at the moment, myself being one of them.
Yeah, women's officer has been really on and off for quite some time, actually.
Yeah,
we've
last
struggled with
year.
that one. So if you've got any empowering women
Yeah.
over there watching, then come through for us.
Yeah, come join.
Kind of need you.
The officer team is great. So yeah, there is. So the 4 of us that are filled at the moment is Black and minority ethnic, the students with disabilities, mental health, and international students, which is myself, George, Jotan, and Kabira, and we are now trying to look for people to fill the other positions, which is Welsh language officer, obviously a really important one here in Wales, ethical and environmental, which is everything from picking up litter and cars to freedom of speech, women's officer, I think that name's pretty self-explanatory, LGBT officer, both there's a women's position and there's an open position, and then there's also, I think that's it, yep, that is all of them. And they're also hosting elections for a couple of other things at the moment. But these are, there's also mature students officer. Can't forget that one. But we haven't had one of those last year either. So.
Yeah, so we really need a lot of people to come through for a lot of things on this. Welsh language officer, I'm a pusher for as well. I'm starting a new Welsh language section on TV over here. So if we could get a Welsh language officer, that'd be great, because then I'd interview you. So you'd get to be on TV as well. So why not?
Yeah, always good fun. And then there's also elections for a couple of the other important democracy stuff that happens here at the Students' Union. There's something called Senate. Do you guys know what Senate is?
No, explain it to me.
No. Okay, so Senate isn't something a lot of students know about, but they do a lot of the behind-the-scenes work. So we have AGM here at Cardiff once a year, and it's sort of a smaller one of those that happens 5 times a year, and there's a number of elected student senators on there. There's a number of all the part-time officers sit on there, and then there's also people like a couple of the vice presidents, the head of governance for the SU, who all kind of check things like the bylaws. They make sure that we're doing our jobs right, and then they push through other things. So recently we had one about increasing signposting for gender neutral toilets, and so where they can get the radar keys to be able to get in. That went through last time. All the way up to the formation of UMCCA, which, if you haven't heard of that, is like a Welsh students' union that runs alongside our students' union,
cool.
which is like an umbrella term for all of our all sort of Welsh language things that go on, which is really, really cool.
And super duper important.
It is.
Since we're in Wales.
It's run by Oshan Morgan, who's also a member of Student Media, was Welsh language officer last year.
And should be being interviewed later this week if
Exciting
you want to
stuff.
have a look at him.
And then there's also Scrutiny Committee, which is basically you sit on a panel that gets to ask us officers why we aren't doing our jobs, follow up all the time. There's once a term.
Charlie.
It's terrifying. I've never had
kind of
bad
like an
scrutiny.
opposition.
Yeah, but they just make sure that we're doing our jobs correctly, which is great. I've never had a bad scrutiny in my last year. Because I was a disabilities officer last year. Yeah, they're always great. Yeah, I really know how to blag it. It's fine. Get away with it. But yeah, so if you want to tell the people in charge that they're not doing their jobs properly, or make sure that they are.
What kind of things have you done as Students with Disabilities Officer? You were Students with Disabilities Officer last year as well as this year. So what progressions have you made for disabled students?
So one of them, a particularly important one, is up at the Heath Park. The Heath Park Sport Facilities is a place called Cardigan House. And when I was in my first year, before I got elected, I wrote a article for Guy Reed, got front page, about how students were suffering at that support facility, and it was really, really bad. And like, students were going to counselling appointments to talk about their anxiety, and the stairway was so bad they were having panic attacks in it. Like, I went there once and it was, you know, filthy. It only gets an hour of natural sunlight a day, and there's only one light in there.
Wow.
But yeah, last year, me, the Vice President of Welfare, now your President, Holly Cook, and Nico, one of the VP Heath Park, we all campaigned heavily to change that. And we ended up, it's been painted, it's been done up, and it does look like they're going to be having a better entrance put on it. So Kirsty, when she came on your live stream yesterday, talked a bit about it as well.
Yep.
Which is good fun. I've also, so a lot of the stuff has been, I've created the Disabilities Association. So there was always a very strong LGBT, and there's a very good women's and ethnic, black and ethnic minority, black minority ethnic, those associations support campaign officers, and they're really, really important. And I've now had I've managed to create a fantastic association. I've got a really great team. I was told at the start of my first year that it wouldn't happen, that we'd never get enough interest to form a disabilities association, and I had something like 20 applicants for 6 positions on committee, one of which is your wonderful head of sports, Aditi. She's our sports representative, which is great.
So I've actually seen a bit of an increase in students with disabilities at Cardiff Uni since I started here, which I think is really, really good, because I know my brother is actually in a wheelchair, so I know that it can actually put you off going to certain places if if it's difficult for you to live without having that support. So if you do have a disability and you feel that you need more support, or there's an issue that you found while at university, please come and talk to Charlie, because he can try and sort that out for you and for everybody else that might be affecting.
Yeah, so all of us officers have Facebook pages that you can find us on. So if you search Charlie Knights, KNIGHTS, SU, and you can usually find my Facebook page. It's got me with a terrible mugshot, with a cheeky smirk going on, and and then there's also, you can find us on Twitter, or email me, disabilitiesofficer@cardiff.ac.uk, which is exciting. You get to keep up to date with all that's going on. So far, out of my 4 manifesto points for this year, I've already completed 3.
Nice.
So, which I'm really, really happy about.
And what are those 3 manifesto points?
One of them was continuing to combat the issues up at the Heath, which is tick. Create a Disabilities Association, which I did before I was even in term. And then there was also another one was basically just continuing to support the mental health officer, because that's a new role this year, and make sure that there's clear definition between what we're doing. And me and George get along really well. So we do work together on everything that happens. And then my last point that will hopefully be done is to do with extenuating circumstances, which is, it's a big issue, just like the differences with how you're treated depending on what school you're in. And we're trying to work out why that is, and we've got a new steering group and we're collecting evidence. So.
Do you have any involvement in, there's the new Centre for Student Life being built, so where we have the steps at the front of the union at the moment, that's going to be changed. Will that be made more accessible for disabled students?
Yes, because at the moment there is a lift, obviously, at the front of the Students' Union, sort of tucked around behind the stairs. We'll have better lifts. There was talk about, instead of steps up the front, it was going to be ramps potentially, but we're not sure about that. But there will be better, brand new, bigger lifts that can accommodate all ranges of wheelchairs and stuff, which is awesome. I was actually the representative for the College of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences in my first year for the Centre for Student Life, which was really good fun. So it's a really good project, and it will help access to the building.
Great. Well, that sounds like there's a lot of progress for students
Sounds
with
really good.
disabilities. And if you feel that there needs to be progress for other types of students, so LGBT students, female students in general, there's not enough ethnic, there is an ethnic,
there's a black minority.
Ethical and environmental.
That's what I meant to say.
Ethical,
Similar words.
So if you're passionate about the environment,
and you feel that the uni isn't doing enough to be ethical, then please think about running, or push somebody else that you know to run.
Well, it's also not if it's like just that you don't think they're doing enough. Obviously, if you see a problem, it's good to put that in your manifesto to try and address it. But for example, things like you know, some of my manifesto points have been things that are perfectly fine the way they are on or new things I want to do. Like, it's just, it's not that I think the uni's not doing enough. Well, I won't comment on that, but there, other things. So
there's always room for progression.
There
basically.
is, and there's always new things. And I'm sure there's lots of people out there. 58% of students here at Cardiff University are female, and there's no women's officer. So that really surprises me. I'm not
I find that quite sad, really. So at the moment, we have to just turn to our Friends or Student Support Centre for general support. But if we need some more female support for female issues. And also, we need a bit more of a female voice on the officers, within the officers, to support us all, really. So
ironic.
At the moment, if you don't count the part-time officers, the full-time sabbaticals are majority female at the moment.
Yes, but
I'd say ironically, like, some of these positions seem to be so much more important, especially in the past year when you've had Trump come into office, and then it's suddenly instigated all this. And as if we've gone like 2 steps backwards after so many years of progression, like in terms of like looking for equal footing, like women seeing all more equal, more openly to LGBT community, and
Yeah, I'm from Holland.
So I'm here with Callum, he's just moved in. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
Have you finished unpacking? You fully moved in yet?
No, we've literally just dumped the car over there, so just need to get unpacked, get my key, and get settled.
Okay, so you've still got a while to go, but you're excited, yeah? Excited for the week to come?
I'm really excited.
What are you most looking forward to about Freshers, or just generally the next?
Just generally the next week, like pretty intense partying, I guess. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So how are you finding university at the moment? How's your room? How's uni halls?
Yeah, it's nice. It's a bit far away here, but I'm gonna buy a bike tonight, so then I can bike to the university. But it's downhill, and then I need to go back. So maybe leave my bike there and go back by bus.
A lot of people sort of see university as the opportunity to make or break them. Do you think you're going to be joining all societies and sports, or do you reckon you're just going to slump into binge watching and TV?
I'm going to definitely put myself out there, see what's up with Cardiff, because I live quite out the way. I live in a small town, so living in a city a bit different for me.
How are you at budgeting?
Not great. Not great, no.
How are you going to be like living alone, like cooking and everything? Or are you going to
I should adapt, but I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know. I might surprise myself. I'm not great on cooking, and I'm not very organised, so you know.
So you see that a lot of students do actually progress. Like I remember one guy at the beginning of Freshers last year couldn't crack an egg, so and then he was making roast. He was making roast by the end of the year, so it could just be you.
So will you be joining any sports societies, or just any societies in general?
Many want to play some football or go windsurfing. maybe those two. I hope we can do that somewhere here. Yeah.
Looking to join the basketball team because that's the sport I play. Don't really know much about any societies at the moment, but I'll look into that.
I just told my dad, I was like, Dad, what's a Sky Go account? What are the details of that? And he was like, no, you're not going anywhere with Sky. I was like, okay, fair enough. So yeah, I kind of taken the idea that the least time spent in my room, the better, because if I'm locked away, unless I'm studying, I kind of want to be out either socialising or doing stuff or something.
It's a really good attitude. I wish I took more of that.
Okay, so that
you enjoyed
was
that little clip.
University halls.
Now, I think a lot of people sort of put down uni halls because it's so far out, and I don't know, 'cause not a lot of people choose to go there, so they kind of think, oh, I don't know if it's going to be very good. I didn't get a choice so far. Like, loads of people are having fun in St Guinness or Taliban. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I think if you see places like Tallygate, the quality of the accommodation is like fancier and whatever, but uni halls is cheaper because of where it is. So that was really, really good for me because it meant I had a little bit of spare loan to use for my second year, which you might end up needing for your deposit for houses. And it's actually one of the best halls to stay at, I personally think.
Yeah, because we both stayed there. I stayed in Birchwood.
And I was in Nevern 3. So yours was a lot nicer than mine.
Yeah, I was quite happy with mine.
Yeah, ours wasn't the greatest. Those of you in Nevern 3, I do feel for you slightly. However, we did have a bath, so we cannot complain.
You had a bath, wow. We didn't have that.
But there were a few things that I wish I'd known when I first arrived at uni halls.
Yeah, I think just we're going to give you a few tips and pointers about like how to sort of make the most out of your stay, because I think if you're coming into it, you obviously don't know. So I think both of us coming from uni halls, both ex-residents,
we can
just give you as much information. Exactly.
So something that I found quite difficult when I lived at uni halls was getting my food shop in, because the shops are quite far from, well, not actually, they're not that far. You just have to go up a massive hill on the way back with all your shopping. So you're a bit like, do I really want to do this right now? And you end up getting too many takeouts, and before you know it, you've pawned like 3 dress sizes by Christmas. That may have happened.
The funny thing about uni halls, this might even be an important point, they don't do Deliveroo there because of that hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because of that very hill.
No one wants to go up the hill.
So you're going to have to walk to get your whatever.
But you get a butt workout on the way back up the hill, so really you're getting all the positives. You just got to
burn off your food before you've even settled into your stomach.
Exactly. So something I'd recommend for getting your food, if you know someone that drives, get them to take you to that massive Sainsbury's that's pretty near.
That's a really good one, yeah.
That does great offers as well. I know Sainsbury's is normally not one of the cheapest.
But then also, I think they're refurbishing, because I remember last year I went a few times, actually opposite the Sainsbury's. So Sainsbury's on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, there is actually a Lidl.
Ah, so you've got...
I think they're still refurbishing it, though, so once that's all built up, I definitely recommend going there. If you don't know anyone with a car, one of the tricks I used to do was, when I'd finished at uni, you'd go to the nearby Lidl, do your shop there, and then
hop back on the bus.
Hop back on the bus, or then walk home, either one, whichever works for you.
Yeah, if you don't want to carry it all the way, hopping on the bus with your shopping is a good shout, because then you're dropped to your door, so that's quite convenient.
Yeah, as long as you know the buses come at like every 1:45, 10 to the hour, get all your shopping done and get back to the SU in time for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's actually not too bad
stuck
to
in
do.
those little queues around like 5, 6.
Yeah, they are pretty hefty queues, so you might want to give it some extra time.
Yeah, exactly. And there's the other option is just getting the bus, and sometimes Kenny was the best driver we had. We don't have Kenny anymore, sadly, but hopefully the driver's just as nice, and he might, if you get stuck at the traffic lights down Albany Road, he'll let you jump out, so you'll be at the shops, and then if you see him on the way back and he's stuck in the traffic lights, you can hop back on. So that's quite nice, a good shout. If you, but I mean, obviously you have to time that very well for the bus to get stuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, that can always do you well. Or there's the 52 that
it comes literally outside of Uni Hall. It's really cheap to buy a ticket. You just download an app and then you show it on your phone, and that takes you right into the city centre where you get everything. You have the cinema, you have the Motorpoint Arena, the Millennium Stadium, all of that sort of thing. And that is your ticket to get you basically where you need to be in Cardiff.
I was really shocked actually at how cheap the bus was when I arrived in Cardiff, because I come from near Birmingham and over there it's not that cheap to get your...
I come from London, imagine the prices exchange.
So we're all in the struggles in these big cities,
Yep.
but Cardiff, no, it doesn't give you those money struggles. It helps you out, so you can get on the bus pretty cheaply there and back, and yeah, you're sorted basically.
One thing I think the freshers this year are actually a lot luckier than us is the fact that the actual uni bus are launching a night service. I mean, they tried to sort of introduce it at the end of last year, but at that point I pretty much already left and I'd already learned the ways of Uber and spending too much money on that. So but I think this year they've actually they've come into full effect, and they run every 45 minutes, I think around the hours of 11, then midnight, and then around 2 a.m, and it's only £1.
Oh wow!
Only £1, so that's cheaper than any Uber you're going to get. You can spend the other £4-5 or whatever on your Mackies, and then go back and get the bus back.
Yeah, bonus. I think that's so good. I remember I complained so much in my first year, like, I wish we had a night bus, because I knew Manchester had one, and my friends were at Manchester, and so now like you're in there. You've got your night bus too.
You've got it.
And yeah, that will definitely help for all of you that are out in those halls and it's a bit too far away.
Yeah. I think that one of the most important things that being uni halls is actually, you may think you're kind of trapped, or you're really secluded away from the uni, and you go, oh, I can't really enjoy uni life as a student sort of thing. But I think what's really important is you actually take the time to try and explore. So if you were to take a route to go down Albany Road from the uni and have a look around all those shops, you can find some real hidden gems there. So there's loads of nice coffee shops, really nice small little independent restaurants. There's a boutique shop which I love, I still go there, called Ushies, and that's like really nice, like sweet clothing, like for women and stuff. And then
they've got loads of charity shops as well.
Yeah, loads of charity shops. So if you want to get like anything sort of
bargain.
Yeah. Generally that, and they've also got Tesco Express and Sainsbury's, so that is a really handy.
Yeah, there's Holland Barrett.
And a great fish and chip shop as well there.
Oh, and there's the really good stall that sells the samosas on the corner.
I didn't know about that one. I was thinking of also it's like Walk to Walk or something, or Walk to Walk.
Walk to Walk.
Yeah. They're good. So generally just have a look around that area, I think.
So that's your one route to Uni Hall, and then if you wanted to get back that way from the Union, you walk past Gassy Jack's and you'll get there. Otherwise, the other way is by Lidl and
so you walk Lidl, you walk up that hill, past Tesco Express on your right hand side, and you come up to the graveyard. Eventually it curves round, but everyone's got Google Maps these days. I'm sure you can look up the best route. Another sort of place that I think was really nice for me, I used to do runs there, was going to Roath Park. Now that was honestly one of the prettiest parks I've ever been to. It's so gorgeous. It's really nice if like you're ever bored and you ever want to just go out with your mates and just like you're bored of sitting at home. It's like, yeah, let's go for a walk. It is really nice. You see like all the dogs being walked, all the ducks in the pond, and it's like really sweet.
Yeah, be careful of those geese though, you know. I've been chased by those geese around Roath Park.
And I think also in the summer you can rent out pedlos.
Yeah, you know what though? I have gone for year on year to try and get on a pedalo, and I never managed to get one. They're only open at certain times of the weekend, so please make sure you look it up before you go, like me, and get there and be disappointed. But yeah, Roath Park is lovely. I might say actually I prefer it to Butte Park. Not to
see, the thing is, I haven't even seen Butte Park, and it's wonder because the only time I went was Inside Out last year, and so Roath Park is my place. The thing is, being new, I've got this year to do it because I'm in Cathay, so this will be.
You've moved this way.
I'll find Butte Park as my new run route.
Well, yeah, now as well, if you're at uni halls, you will learn all of the roads as you're in Pennyland around Roath. So you'll come down from Pennyland through Roath into Cathay, that mission of a journey.
Yeah.
But then it means when you move into housing in second or third year, and your mates are going, oh, I live on like Croyce Road, or I live on Salisbury Road, and everyone's like, where's that? You're like, yep, I know, because I live so far away, I learn everything.
Yeah.
So it is a positive.
You get definitely get a better knowledge of the area and stuff.
So, I think we'll move on to have a look at upcoming fairs and chat about
Yep.
what went on there.
Yeah, so next week, as you know, is your official Freshers Week, where you've got loads of events going on in the evenings, but throughout the day there are so many different things that are going on that you need to get your bums down to have a look. So we've got Monday, we've got the volunteering fair.
Yes, so volunteering includes all types of volunteering.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot. So one of them that I looked into when I was in first year that looked quite cool was Sherman Theatre do a volunteering scheme. So you basically get work experience with them, but you can also pop in to watch some of the productions, which is really, really cool. So I'm a fan of that one. But
I think there was one that I particularly like is it's one that's actually new this year. It's called the Survival Games, which you can probably take a guess at like where this is sort of heading, but basically you in pairs you have to try and raise money, and so you can do it with your housemate, you can do it with your sports teams or whatever, and the two of you have to try and raise money as much as you can, and you're then going to be put into a contest, and the person who's raised the most money gets the first choice of their weaponry.
Oh.
And hiding place, and then what then commences, the whole SU shuts down, and it basically becomes the Hunger Games, but it's just a giant nerf war. So you pick your weaponry, and it's from the get-go, it's every man for himself.
How many you can pick for your teams in this?
It's literally 2, so 2 from each,
Okay.
so in pairs, sort of like in the film, and
Well, that's
it
quite
sounds like a lot of fun.
I know
really.
we had Michelle from volunteering talking to us about that one
Yeah.
a couple of days ago. So if you wanted to watch that clip, then you can go back and have a look.
Yeah.
Then after that we have AU Fair, which is the sports fair on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So sports fair.
There is a general £20 joining fee into the Athletics Union, which everyone has to pay, but that will anyways. I know it may seem like quite a lot at the time, but it does actually all go back into what you're doing, so it will be worth it. So just give you an idea, so like the tennis membership is only £26 for the whole year, so that's to go and play on the courts, really nice courts by the castle. They play on Wednesdays and Sundays. I was part of it, and I actually got to play for varsity for it. And then there's also there was football as well, of course. That's £40, but I think it's because they have to. I think it's a bit more difficult renting out
so
the
it's a bit
pitches and
harder
stuff.
to get onto the first Cardiff Uni football team.
Yeah,
and
but they're
the
about
netball team as well.
They're like second, third, fourth, fifth.
Yeah,
So
as far as I'm aware with the first team, you have to pay, and then if you don't make the team, they take your money for
Yeah, they take
kit and
£15
things.
off.
Yeah, so
But-
so that's a tricky one, but the subjects have their own teams as well. So I know
It's like medical
history
rugby.
football. They actually play in the same league as the Cardiff Uni First, so you'll be
Wow.
playing just as well, but you might not lose some money.
I think that's
so-
also what's the great thing is that obviously some people, they've probably been playing, if they played at their schools and they say I want to continue it, but maybe not as intensely, or don't want to be on the
There
first or
are
anything.
other
There are so many
options.
other options, so that you've got your five-a-side football where you can literally just like pull together a few players, and that's a lot of fun. My friends did that. And then same with the rugby as well, you can get like a smaller team where you just like maybe train once a week and just have a laugh with the boys sort of thing.
And then we have dance sport as well.
Yeah.
I know dance sport, they do salsa, they do Latin, you do ballroom, they go and do competitions. And then another dance society that's actually happened, so then society fairs will be later in the week, is Broadway. And then they do ballet and tap and everything. So there's a lot of dance. There's also different dance groups that do more like street dance and stuff like that. So you've literally got all of your options there.
Then you even have your water sports, because obviously it's actually not too far to get down to the bay.
Yeah.
So they've got surfing, they have kayaking. That I think, like last year, I think as sort of give it a go sort of event, kayaking, they offered it out where you'd kayak in the morning and then you'd come back from kayaking and they did a barbecue.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I think just generally, if you're not even a sporty person, it's definitely worth just having a look, because there's other things sort of that might just take your eye, like a dodgeball club. you'd never think to suddenly join that once joining uni.
Yeah, I have some friends who are actually going into third year now, but not at Cardiff Uni, and they're telling me I'm really not enjoying my uni, all of this, and they haven't got involved in anything. And I think it really is important to get involved in either a society, a sports club, or some sort of volunteering scheme, just so that you feel like you're really involved in university life.
Yeah, that happened to my friend at a different uni. He was never really passionate about any sport. He enjoyed playing sports, but when he got to uni, suddenly became really passionate about lacrosse, and it's now all he talks about. It's just, he loves it to bits.
That's exactly what you want from uni, isn't it?
Yeah.
Find new passions, really.
Exactly.
So
right,
then we have societies fairs on Wednesday and Thursday. So all of student media will there on Wednesday, so we expect to see you there. But then on the other days there'll be a selection of all the societies. Now we can't really go through all of the societies
there's
because
so many.
it is the longest list ever.
But if you want one little thing to sort of entice you, I do know that a lot of the stores do offer out freebies.
So
I'm
sure
if you
Domino's
really
normally get in there, don't they?
Yeah,
With
I think
cheeky slices.
I think some of the I think maybe like there's an Indian society where it's just like community sort of thing. They hand out samosas. The baking society, they have like a whole rack of cupcakes. And I think the maths society, they had brownies last year, which I walked past deliberately 3 times to pick up 3 brownies, and they were pretty good.
Yeah, not to be recommended.
No. But there's like loads of stuff there as well. But definitely just bring yourself down. If you're not doing anything, your lectures haven't started, you're not doing anything today, you might as well go and just take a look. You don't have to sign up to everything, or even just one thing would be good, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Or at least just get an idea of the range and then go home and decide and sign up later.
Yeah.
So then there's a load of music societies, like there's jazz band, wind band, a cappella. A cappella are actually downstairs right now,
Yeah,
I believe.
they're performing downstairs.
For ID collection.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, to bide your time while you wait. So having talked about all those societies, and you now have a little dibble and dabble in what's
I do think
available.
though it's important that you do know about the Great Hall, because the Great Hall is, in case you don't know already, it's the floor below the main floor. So but then throughout the year they also host like really cool gigs as well.
Yeah.
Cool gigs. And one thing maybe to look forward to is they host the dodgeball tournament, which happens in a few weeks. It's sort of like a sort of welcome, sort of get to know people sort of thing, where you all have to dress up, and it's just a giant dodgeball tournament from about 6:30 till 11 o'clock in the night, and that is on the 9th of October. That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's literally everything's closed up and every man for himself. Dodgeball. You have to dress up as well.
Yeah, that sounds pretty funny.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah.
So having planted all of those societies in your mind, let's have a look at another Womanby Street clip. Womanby Street. Apparently we cannot look at our Womanby Street clip. So I think, shall we move to our game of Heads Up?
Yeah.
We'll end on a game of Heads Up,
Yeah.
and then we'll be done for today.
Yeah. Right.
So are you going first? Am I going first?
You go first then. Right, what are we going to do? Category. In case any of you don't know what Heads Up is, we pick a category, we have to put it on our heads, and it's then down to the other people to try and describe to the person with the phone on their head what is happening, but without obviously saying what the word is or the action is.
So we can choose between superstars, Act It Out, Animals Gone Wild, blockbuster movies, icons, legends and stars, accents and impressions, or Hey Mr. DJ.
I think acting's quite a good one.
Acting?
Yep.
You can't act it out. Shall we play?
Yeah.
I don't want it to show me if I click play. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see too.
In the winter.
Oh, making oh my gosh, angels.
Yes.
Like snow
yes.
angels. It's that way, isn't it?
Yep. And the postman comes.
Check your letters, read your letters.
Sort of
Write
closing
letters,
it, you have to.
Post box, door.
Right. Give it then. Oh. When you're blind, when you have a bat.
blind man's bluff, that thing? No,
Can we get the giant
pinata.
horse? Yes. Oh, okay. Maybe after you've just like washed the table wet.
Squeeze a cloth.
Yeah, let's go with that then. These are hard. Oh my god.
Pass it.
No, it's gone.
I feel I wasn't very good at guessing
they were
those.
very hard. Making lemonade. How do you act that out?
Oh, that is quite difficult. Opening mail.
Opening mail. You like you're going along it, and then you just sort of like going post office, post box.
I was like, no idea.
Okay, right.
You want to go?
One
and we'll switch round, and then we'll wrap it up.
We happy with the same one?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's play this deck again.
I don't think I'm going to be very good at this.
Okay. Let's have a go.
Okay, it's raining, and you're gonna
open umbrella.
Yeah. It's not you, it's me.
A breakup.
Yeah.
Being sick. Hurling. Gagging. Choking.
Yeah, there we go.
Driving.
Yeah.
Checking your whilst driving. Skip it.
Yeah, I don't know how else to do it. I don't know how to do that one. That's gonna be too rude. Go. Okay. I don't know if you guys will be able to see.
Riding a bike. Skateboarding.
No, scootering.
Oh.
So we were close. I didn't want to do eating a popsicle because I thought that would get a bit rude if I tried, so I left that out.
Oh.
But I thought that went well. You were definitely better at me.
I think I got easier ones though.
Yeah,
like,
traffic was difficult. I was like, we've just gone from driving to traffic. How do I say we're still in a car?
Okay, I think that pretty much wraps everything up for today.
Well, thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow with day 4.
Day 4. Hopefully we'll be able to start at 11.
Yes.
If everything's running smoothly, but
issues.
Anyway,
yeah.
It won't be us, but I'm sure we'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.